If you're like us, you were eagerly awaiting the launch of NetherRealm's latest mobile fighting game, Injustice 2. Sadly, it's kind of a buggy mess right now, but we've got the solution to your fighting game itch. Here are the best fighting games to play while we all wait for Injustice 2 to receive some much needed patches. 1. Mortal Kombat X Mobile. Mortal Kombat X Mobile is NetherRealm's latest work leading up to Injustice 2, and it's packing all the things you loved about the first Injustice Mobile game, plus fatalities! 2 teams of 3 enter, and the unlucky losers get savaged in proper Mortal Kombat fashion. While it lacks some of the new mechanics debuting in Injustice 2, it's a far more stable experience, and features all the polish found in more recent NetherRealm mobile titles. It might not feature any DC superheroes, but the great gameplay that won so many over is beating beneath Mortal Kombat X's gory, bloody heart. 2. Marvel Contest of Champions. While staunch DC fans may balk at the proposition, there's a lot to love in Marvel Contest of Champions. Much like Injustice 2, it integrates more fighting game staples like movement and varied attacks, while maintaining the accessibility of a traditional mobile fighting game. Rather than rotating a team of 3, you fight one-on-one battles, swapping in heroes as they run out of health. Each character has unique special moves, but are all easy to control. It's got a wealth of content that's regularly being updated, and features a story mode in addition to versus play. It's easy to get started thanks to a slick into-the-point tutorial, and features all the classic Marvel characters as well as their various reinterpretations in the movies and spin-off comics. It's almost enough to make you yell, Excelsior! 3. Power Rangers Legacy Wars. Power Rangers Legacy Wars blew us away when it launched with its solid mixture of real-time and turn-based fighting. While many of the games on this list will have you unlocking cards to bolster your team, Power Rangers Legacy Wars goes beyond that. It melds the combos and timing of a fighting game with the turn-based nature of Magic the Gathering to beautiful effect. There's an active online player base, and also unlike certain games on this list, offers true player versus player battles. Power Rangers Legacy Wars is a perfect way to pass the time while waiting for DC's finest to work out the kinks in Injustice 2's batarangs. 4. Injustice Gods Among Us Mobile. You might raise an eyebrow at our 4th contender on this list. Why suggest the original game, you ask? Well, it's very simple. Injustice Gods Among Us Mobile still holds up. Injustice 2 certainly is exciting and it's gonna change up a few things, but whether you've got a library full of fighters or you're just starting out, Injustice Gods Among Us Mobile has plenty to offer. Regular challenges, in addition to an online component where you can prep your own AI team to fight other players, keeps things fresh and ensures everyone can have fun with the title. Injustice Gods Among Us Mobile was such a success, they're including Injustice 2's console story mode with the Injustice 2 mobile release. So discover what made the first game such a hit while you're waiting on the next contender. 5. Shadow Fight 2. Let's say you've enjoyed your time with Injustice, but want something with a bit more. You want a fighting game on the go in a purer sense. You want directional inputs, button presses, combos, but not too much of that. Well, Shadow Fight 2 is the game you've been looking for. Taking an approach not unlike Virtua Fighter, Shadow Fight 2 is a mobile fighting game that emphasizes strategy and flexibility while still being approachable to play. There's only one playable character, but you have multiple weapons you can unlock, and there's a wealth of upgrades to choose from. There's a full story mode to progress through, with a variety of characters to duel, ranging from sly ninjas to hardened warriors. The visuals themselves aren't really anything to write home about, but the slick, simplified control scheme and dynamic fighting more than make up for it. Shadow Fight 2 is definitely worth a look. 6. Batman Arkham Origins Mobile. Our final highlight of NetherRealm's previous projects that might catch your eye is their adaptation of Batman Arkham Origins. Unlike Mortal Kombat X and Injustice, Batman Arkham Origins Mobile is focused on its titular protagonist, throwing whole new gameplay mechanics like different fighting stances and abilities in. By utilizing the familiar swap and tap fighting mold they crafted, NetherRealm creates a whole new type of experience, almost like a hybrid of Infinity Blade with their traditional fighting game mechanics. There's no major online component in this one, but it more than makes up for it with a wealth of boss fights and regular criminals to knock out. It's a solid option for DC fans of The Dark Knight, and an enjoyable mobile fighting game in its own right. 7. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is the only entry on this list that leans more on team building and strategy than Injustice 2, but there's a good reason for that. If you loved perfecting your deck of characters in Injustice and timing your special abilities, then Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is a great alternative to scratch that itch. Playing out in a turn-based battle mode, you pit various heroes across the Star Wars saga against one another in a bid for glory. Ranging from new heroes and villains like Rey and Kylo Ren, to classics like Darth Vader and Yoda, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is packed to the brim with nostalgia for that galaxy far, far away. Thankfully, even if you aren't one with the Force, it's a fun turn-based strategy RPG that takes a lot of notes from recent mobile fighting games. We hope these titles tide you over until the titanic release of Injustice 2 is given a just and well-deserved once-over.
Ready to get smacked down?